Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to class. Hopefully my sound sounds good. Yeah, it's a very nice sunny day here where I'm at. I hope it is where you are as well. Externally, internally, wherever suits you best. We're gonna get started in a little bit. Just wanted to welcome everyone. Hello, hello. Have you been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Because we have in this household, and we are having so much fun. We're a little stressed out because we really want to go on a date with Tifa at the Gold Saucer, and so we're trying to make the correct decisions in all of our interactions with her, and it's stressing us out way more than it probably should, but this is a very important part of our experience, so it's very necessary. So who are you trying to woo in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? I mean, I've always been a Cloud Tifa shipper, so my sister is an Aerith Cloud shipper, so we're on the opposite ends there, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. We still have a great relationship. But anyway, this is not about Final Fantasy VII. We did a class all about Final Fantasy VII. On Monday, we did Cos Pilates. And you're like, Sarah, what the heck is that? Cos Pilates is a amalgamation of the terms cosplay and Pilates. And so that means it's a themed mat class. So I pick a franchise or a character or even a theme that's related to media. For example, I did a class all about the beach episode of an anime. So that was a theme for a Cos Pilates class. And I obviously dressed the part, so I dressed up as Tifa. You can still check out that in the highlights if you want to catch that class. And we have a lot of fun. We do themed exercises inspired by the character or the franchise or the theme. And then there's also some audience participation. We did a lot of polls in the last class where you can select, how to change up the class. I also, when I did a Hua Chung inspired class, since he rolls dice and runs a gambling den, we did a dice roll to determine what exercise that we do. So that was pretty fun. So we always mix it up a little bit on that level as well. So it's a little different than your typical mat class. I'm still working on our March Cos Pilates. I got some really good requests from you all and some ideas, so I'm really excited about this one. At this point, we do Cos Pilates once a month, and it is the third week of the month. So I'm hoping to add more in the future, but that's all I can handle right now, as well as our weekly Sunday class. So yeah, stay tuned for that if you're interested in dressing up and flopping around on a mat. I can't recommend Cos Pilates enough. But let's get started. So today's just just your standard mat class. No, we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna move through our classical Pilates exercises. I'll probably throw in a couple of twists and turns as we go, literally twisting and turning. No theme for today. We're just gonna flow and start off or end or enjoy our lunch with some Pilates. Finding our edge and challenging ourselves is one thing. Pain is something we don't want, and pushing through pain is something we never want to do. So if at any point you experience pain, abort mission and either take a modification that I will provide or take a pause and join us in the next exercise. Thank you. Yes, this is from a local artist. It's got a lot of pointy things on it. I love spikes and studs, so this is an awesome mug. Thank you. Yeah, it's really cool. I should finish this coffee before we get started. But yes, if at any point you experience pain or discomfort, take a pause or abort mission. Meet your body where it's at today, and that could look different depending on the day, depending on the minute. So just be kind to yourself. And yeah, we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna take one more sip out of my mug. I when I make cosplay, I have a tendency to make things too pointy. That's kind of become my MO. So everything, like all of my swords, or I made Luna Freya's trident, my initial iterations, they were just so ridiculously pointy that they were impractical. They were snapping off, or I've physically have stabbed myself with my own cosplay weapons. So that's kind of become my signature. It's my brand. I make things way too pointy. All right, how do you take your coffee on a Sunday morning? I drink it hot, all seasons. It could be 100 degrees outside. I will still drink black coffee that's piping hot with nothing in it. So I've been told that that's insane, but that's just how I take my coffee. How do you take yours? All right, let's get started. So lying down on the mat, I taught my private clients yesterday. Hello, private clients, if you're here. But we did a lot of reformer, and I'm feeling a little inspired by that today. So we're gonna start with a little bit of footwork, marching situation. So let's start with bringing our legs up to tabletop. Now, the key with tabletop is it's easy to kind of chillax in tabletop with your knees closer towards your face. What we want to do is stack the knees over the hips. When you stack the knees over the hips, that's when your abdominal muscles have to fire on in order to keep them there, but also to keep your back from arching. So this is me not using my core, and this is me using my core. So tailbone is long. Feel like you're reaching really long with the bottom part of your spine. The bottom tips of the ribs are going to draw down towards the mat, and you initiate that through drawing your front body down towards your back body. So I like to imagine when we're starting to warm up, you have a seam on your shirt. A lot of us have a seam on our shirt that runs down the sides of our body. You want to feel the front body really engage down and in towards center. So anything in the front of that seam. And then the back of that seam is stabilizing. So it's not moving, it's not changing shape, it's holding its position. So that's the feeling we want to have here in our neutral position. Keeping the head, neck, and shoulders down. Let's just take the arms up. Maybe they start to frame the ears. And then bring it back down. Let me get those legs where they're supposed to be. There we go. I have a camera, so I can also hold myself more accountable because I have to look at myself. This last time, let's bring the arms forward and then curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. So our curl position doesn't change our spine, so anything behind that seam of the shirt. So sometimes when we curl our head, neck, and shoulders up, we can have the tendency to tuck the tail. You see how the whole body crunches? We want to try and keep that back body the same and just feel that scoop right through the center of the body. So almost like you've taken an ice cream scoop through the center of your body. Hug your knees into your chest. That's an important principle to maintain. We're going to be in this curl position a lot, so it's all right to spend a little bit more time on it at the beginning. Let's start moving with a little more flow. So the legs will return to tabletop and get those knees together. Knees have to stay glued together. I know, I'm here to make things harder. We're gonna bring the arms up to the ceiling, or you can reach them back to frame your ears, depending on how you're feeling and if you want to stretch. On your next exhale, though, we crease at the breastbone and curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Now roll the shoulders open. Use your abs to curl up higher, not your shoulders, so my shoulders are nice and wide. And then lower with control everything back down. Don't crash. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. and slowly lower everything back down to the start position. This last time we're going to curl up and hold. Now just the arms lift up, you stay high in that shape and press it back down. And inhale, reach the arms, and exhale, press back down. You have 3 more here. And press, and 2, and press. Last time. Lower down, hug your knees into your chest. Whoops. This microphone has been so finicky the past few streams. It's a great mic, but she doesn't like to stay in one spot. All right, now we're going to add on. Option to keep the arms reaching long by your sides, or for more of a challenge, you stack your hands one on top of the other and bring it behind the nape of your neck. I'm going to demo both. We're going to start adding in a little march. On your next exhale, arms come up to the ceiling, or keep them behind your head. You curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, bring the legs to tabletop. From here, flex your feet, and we go for our single leg march. Lengthen at your thigh bone to lower the heel towards the mat, and then bring it back in. Draw your waist down as the leg reaches away, and then feel your waist almost slide up towards your face to bring the leg back in. The core moves the leg. We don't change our spinal position. We don't shrug at the shoulders. We just use our center. Feel that hug in and up to bring the leg in. Let's go 2 more. Last time. Lower just the head, neck, and shoulders down. From here, keeping everything down on the mat, just straighten your legs to the ceiling. And then bend, bring it back in. Can you straighten your legs to the ceiling without changing the shape of your spine? And then bring it back in. And lengthen. So my spine doesn't move, my tailbone stays down. Last time. This time we curl our head, neck, and shoulders up, exhale. From here, we go for a little bicycle. Right leg lifts up to the ceiling. We lower it down towards the floor. Drag that heel in towards your seat, and then take your march back up to your start position. Flex the foot, lift it up to the ceiling, lower it down. Drag that heel in, and then march it back to your start position. Nice and slow. Feel a lot of reach through the leg. And don't forget to breathe. Breathing is underrated. Let's go 1 more each side. And then lift that long thigh bone up. Last time. Lower everything down. Hug your knees into your chest. This is your calm before the 100. So we're going to work with the legs up to the ceiling and then slowly work our way down to our lowest working level. So with anything in Pilates, the straighter the legs, the longer and more distal the legs go, the more challenging it is. So if this is your first time or you're just not feeling it today, keep the legs up to the ceiling or at a higher diagonal. Your lowest point will most likely be around 45 degrees for your challenge. If you're feeling spicy, they can go as low as 1 inch above the mat. See how you're feeling today. So you can always take that tabletop position as well. You've got so many options here. So we'll start with the legs up to the ceiling, heels together, toes apart in your Pilates stance. So toes are about 11 and 1 on the clock. Your tailbone is nice and long towards the floor. Arms come up to the ceiling. On your next exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and start to pump your arms for inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Now keep pumping. The arms can get a little forgotten about in the 100. We want thumbs with fingers, big vigorous pumps, up. Feel like as if you had puddles underneath your hands, you're creating splashing. Nice vigorous pumps, no flopping at the elbow or the wrist. On your next inhale, lower your legs a little bit and exhale. Now we had that challenge. Inhale, lower a little bit more. And exhale. Inhale, lower a little bit more. And exhale. This is your last point. Find your working level. And exhale. 2 more times. And exhale. Last time. And exhale. Bend your knees in and lower down. I went really low. Wow. I was, I guess, feeling more of a challenge than I thought. All right. From here, place one hand on top of each knee and just circle your knees away from each other. Give yourself a little stir in the hip joint. And then reverse your circle. All I want to do is play Final Fantasy, but I have lots of things to get done today. They should have given me a day off from work or something. Like it's an international holiday when a new Final Fantasy game comes out. All right, let's rock ourselves up to seated. We're gonna do a little intro to roll up here. So, gonna start seated. Keep your knees bent and heels can be down, or you can keep long tops of the feet. I'm gonna keep them flexed because my feet tend to cramp up if I do that, but that's an option. Your knees can be inner hip width distance apart, so finding the bony landmarks of your hips and finding that line, and that will be your inner hip width. Hands are gonna come behind your thighs, and you want to start sitting really upright on your sits bones. So your sit bones are those bony landmarks in your booty. So sometimes we might feel like we're slouching a little bit behind them. I want you to use this bend of the knees as an opportunity to bring that pelvis a little more forward. So if you bring your hands to your hips, you want to think that the fingers at the back of your body are lifting up a little higher than the front fingers. So instead of having a round shape here, we're drawing the pelvis forward. For some of you, it might feel like you're arching your back a ton, but this is actually the more correct position for where we want to be. Thinking of the ring of the hips and the ring of the ribs right on top of each other, like they're concentric circles. This is our start position. Now from here, we're gonna go for some half roll downs. This is a great way to really hone in on our C-curve shape, which is another key element to our Pilates practice. So starting with our articulation, staying really tall in the upper body, start to roll down towards the mat. You'll keep your hands on your thighs and only go as far as your thighs will straighten. So it's like we're gonna roll back to the floor. Now check in. Check in with the upper body. Are the shoulders rounding forward? Are they shrugging towards the ears? Drop them away and keep the collarbones wide. Where is the round shape coming from in your roll down position here? Is it coming from the rounding of the shoulders? Is it coming from squeezing your glutes and just death gripping your booty to be round? Or is it coming from the middle of your back? We want to think about the waist is drawing back to create that capital letter C. It's kind of hard to see with my hands there, but you can better see that here. So my collarbones are nice and wide. I'm not rounding at all in the shoulders. This is all coming from the scoop of my front body, almost like I'm rounding over an imaginary wheel. So this is one part of that wheel that I'm starting to take the form of. And then come all the way back up. So that's where we want to find that C-curve shape. The upper body almost slides backwards. So even when I round backwards, you can kind of see that my upper body slides backwards, and that reach of the upper body allows me to deepen my scoop to get more articulation through my spine. Let's try a couple of these with flow. Light grip on the legs, don't death grip them. Take an inhale. Exhale, try to keep your upper body at the same height. Tuck your tail. Try and draw your pubic bone up towards the ceiling and really feel your ribs lift away from your hips. And then deepen your scoop back to come all the way back up to tall. Take an inhale. Exhale, find your round back. And then deepen your waist back to come all the way back up to tall. 3 more times. As you start to get comfortable with this, maybe the arms remove. You find that lowest point and then come all the way back up to tall. We're eventually going to take this all the way down to the mat. So imagine each vertebra will place down bone by bone in order as we go. This last time, we're going to find our half roll down and hold. Now from here, everyone release their right arm. Release your left arm. Now from here, can you get that lower back down to the mat? Can you get that waist down to the mat? Come into your Pilates curl position and lower all the way down. We're ready for our full roll up. Legs can stay at this width. You can zip them together and have more of that inner thigh connection. They can be slightly bent. You've got options. And your arms are always there to help if you need to grab back onto your legs. Take an inhale. Exhale, we go the reverse. We come through our Pilates curl. You find that deep scoop up and over that wheel into your roll up. Slide and dive forward. Woohoo. And then slowly take that shape back. Even here, even though I'm reaching forward, my shoulders aren't rounding. Keep that reach of the fingertips and the shoulders blades plugging down your back in opposition. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll up. Keep your exhale flowing through. Think of this kind of like a follow through in basketball. Use your breath to help you follow through on the exercise. Let's go 2 more. And dive forward. Last time. Taking your time. The slower you move, the stronger you'll get in Pilates. It's a different less is more approach. All right, arms come down by your side. It's time for a little fusion here. We're gonna combine some stuff for ab series. I just got this idea, so we're gonna roll with it. So everyone's gonna start with their hands stacked one on top of the other behind the nape of your neck. I felt like mixing it up all of a sudden because why not? Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and hold. Now you might not go as high because the legs are long on the mat. That's okay. Really want you to work that scoop since we've been talking about it today. Deepen your waist down towards the mat and feel a real big crease at your breastbone. Your hands are supporting your head. Put the weight of your head back in your hands and really use your center to lift yourself up, keeping the back of the neck long and soft. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then lower down with control. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and lower down. We add on. You curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and hold. Bend your knees into your chest. Take your right leg long. The lower, the more challenging. Take that left leg, reach it towards your face, and then switch. And then switch. And then switch. Lather, rinse, repeat. Keeping the elbows wide. Curl through your shoulders for 5 and 4 and 3, 2. Last time. Bend your knees in, lower down. Single leg stretch, check. Double leg stretch. We're gonna keep the hands behind the head. If at any point you're like, oh my gosh, this is brutal, lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Doesn't necessarily make this easier. On your next exhale, we curl our head, neck, and shoulders up. This is our start position, start and end position. On your next exhale, your legs shoot out to 45 degrees and the arms shoot out behind you. And then on your next exhale, we return back to that start position. Really working that curl, staying the same height the whole time. And bend it back in. You have 3. And in. And 2. And in. Last time. You're done. Holy moly. Let's do some scissors and some single leg circle combo. Fusion ha. Arms are going to come away from the head. Oh, this ponytail, so annoying. On your next exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and grab onto your right leg. You can grab behind the thigh, calf, or ankle. Legs will start at 45 degrees. The lower, the more challenging. You're going to pulse that leg in towards you twice, and then scissor switch, and pulse, and switch. Try and get 2 distinct pulses here with that leg. Let's go 5, and 4, 3, 2. Last time, right leg is in your hands. Take that left leg, lower it all the way down to the mat, and you lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. We're going to mix it up a little bit now. We're going to bring our roll up back and do some tree. So from here, hands are behind your leg is now a tree. Have fun with that. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, and then hand over hand, we'll climb up our leg up to seated. And then slowly roll back down. 2 more times. Feel like you're pulling your leg down as you climb up it. 1 more time. Press down on your leg like you're pulling the leg into you. And lower back down. Grabbing behind the thigh, give the leg a quick pull. And now we release the leg for single leg circle. Oh boy, we're really traveling here. Little external rotation of the leg, so find the top of the thigh bone, wrapping open to the side. Take the leg across, around and up. Inhale across, around, exhale, lift up, keeping the hips unmoving. Let's do 1 more for good measure. And now we have to reverse. I got you. Cross around and up. Inhale, out, around, exhale, lift up. 2 more times. And lift. Last time. And lift. Grab behind your thigh. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Lift that left leg up. Pulse, pulse, and scissor switch. We're back in our scissor game. For 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. This time we end with the left leg in our hand. If you're like, I'm doing the other side, all good. Lower back down. Give yourself a little quick stretch. It's tree time. Let's start climbing up our leg. Hand under hand, you come through your curl, climb up your tree. And then slowly come down your tree. Find the control here, no crashing. Climb up your tree. Keep reaching that right leg long on the mat. That reach long and away, that infinite lengthening of that leg is going to help you stabilize on the mat a little more. And then lower back down. Landing with control, hopefully. Grab behind your leg and give it a little stretch. Little prep before single leg circle. Check in with those hips, make sure they're down and square to the mat. Release the leg, point your toe because we're fancy, and find a little external rotation. We take the leg across the body, bring it around and lift it up. Keep the tension out of the front of the throat. If you're tensing up a lot and you're having trouble stabilizing the hips, take a smaller circle. And now reverse. We don't do a lot of reps, so we want to make sure the technique is really good. 1 more time. Grab behind that left leg, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Bring your right leg to meet your left leg, and bring your hands behind your head. Holy moly, we go straight into lower left. Legs go to 45 degrees, and lift up, and lower, and lift. 3 more times. 2 more times. Last time. Bend your knees in, lower down. We're almost there. Final round. We have crisscross. And then we're going to move into a new remixed thing because today apparently we're remixing some stuff. So let's have some fun. Keeping your hands stacked one on top of the other. We're going to move into our crisscross technique first. So let's lower the feet down to the mat. I don't care if they're zipped together or wide. you got options. You're gonna curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and hold. And now, we may have seen this before. This is kind of what we're gonna end up doing. But I want you to think less elbow to knee and more armpit to knee. So keeping the feet down, you're gonna curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, and now twist your right armpit towards your left knee. So you might not go as high, but it's gonna give a little bit more rotation through the whole center. And your obliques are really gonna fire on in a different way. Come back through center, stay lifted, and twist to the other side. Now hold here and check in with your hips. Have your hips shifted? Are they doing a little dance? If they are, they need to stop. They'll have their time, I promise. But this is about stabilizing through the lower half so that we can really wring out that waist. And then come back through center and lower down. Dress rehearsal complete. It's showtime. Bend your knees into your chest. Head, neck, and shoulders curl up. Now twist your right armpit towards your left knee. Make sure those hips stay down. Extend the opposite leg long. Stay high in your curl as you transition to the other side. And come through twist. And come through twist. And come through twist. And come through twist. You have 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Last time. You're done. Amazing. We're gonna take arms out to a T. I'm choking on my own words. Take your left leg long, right leg across the body. Little supine twist. And then come back through center. We'll switch to the other side. Twisting is my favorite thing. I say it almost every week. Not almost, I definitely say it every week. Twisting's my favorite. We don't do enough of it in our life. It feels so good. And it's so important for a healthy spine. Big exhale here. And then come back through center. Reach your legs long in front of you, arms up to the ceiling. Let's roll up to seated. Because transitions are also exercises. All right, from here, gonna mix it up a little bit. Spine stretch forward, saw. We're gonna combine it, do something a little fun. Take a quick water break because crisscross is brutal. Been doing Pilates over 15 years and yeah, crisscross always feels like the first time. That and the 100. There's something magical about it. It always feels hard. All right, cheers. All right, so spine stretch forward. Oh, fun fact, here's my phone. Lightning. She's my favorite of all time. She's my wife, my waifu. Ultimate favorite person in the whole world. Yeah, we'll do Final Fantasy 13 another time. We have to gotta get back to business, but if we want to do Final Fantasy 13 cost Pilates, let me know. I have done it, and I will do it every month for the rest of my life. If that's what you all want, I will happily give it. All right, so we're gonna do our spine stretch forward now. I'm such a nerd. So spine stretch forward is a great exercise, and it's a great stretch. You don't just stretch in Pilates. That's a big misconception. It's just stretching. There's never a stretch that you do in Pilates that isn't also an exercise. It's hilarious and very deceiving. As a teacher, it's very funny to watch everyone's faces fall when I give them something that seems like a stretch and then they realize, oh, we're still working. So, welcome to Pilates. This is also going to require that seat nice and long and tall on our sits bones. So, in order to do this, you can take a bend of the knees here, or you can grab a book or a yoga block if you have one of those, and place it under your booty and sit on top of it. It's going to give you a little more mobility for you to work on that pelvic tilt. to sit yourself up a little more upright. So I can do it with my legs straight, so that's how I'm gonna demo, but take a bend of the knees. You wanna feel that same concentric circle feeling that we were talking about before. The ring of your hips, the ring of the ribs, and the ring of your crown of your head should all line up in concentric circles. Especially since we spend so much time on our phones, you may notice that your neck may be a little more forward or your chin's down. I have to correct myself all the time. So that's something else to think about too. Think that the bottom of your chin is parallel to the floor. That's gonna be a good spot for your gaze for this. So we're gonna move through our spine stretch forward here. So with our position nice and placed, you should already start to feel that front body start to work. That back body is nice and stable. Arms will come long, parallel to the mat, keeping the collarbones nice and wide. You're gonna take an inhale and feel your ribs slide up. Create space in your waist here. On your exhale, slide your arms across an imaginary table and drop your head through your shoulders. Now this is the same C-curve shape we worked in our roll-up before. It doesn't come from the rounding of the shoulders. Really slide your back ribs up towards the ceiling. Draw your waist back. The C-curve comes more at the center of the back. And then as if we have a wall behind us, or the mat, start to stack your vertebrae one on top of the other. So lower back, middle back, upper back. Head is the last thing to come up. We're working our articulation here. Take an inhale. Exhale, slide and dive. Lift your ribs away from the mat. Doesn't matter how low your head goes to the floor. This is about the lift in your center. And then stack your spine all the way up to tall bone by bone. Let's take that 2 more times. Find a little press down with your arms as well. They're reaching long, but there's also a little bit of a press down. Let's hang out at the bottom here. Take an inhale, lift your ribs higher. Exhale, release your head. One more time, inhale, reach your fingertips long, lift the ribs to the ceiling. Exhale, and stack all the way up to tall bone by bone. Final round here. Slide and dive. I find that my shoulders get a lot of work out of this too, just holding this isometric position. And then stack all the way up to tall. From here, without shifting your spine, lift your arms up to the ceiling and circle them around behind you. Maybe your fingertips tap behind you. Maybe they're more out to the side. We're just going to do some big arm circles here to work our shoulder mobility. Now lift your arms up without sinking in the waist, bringing the arms back to your start position. Lift up and around, tap, and up and around front. And up and around, tap, and up and around front 3 more times. Feel really light on your seat here, almost like you're gonna lift off of the floor. We never wanna feel like we're bearing down in Pilates. You always wanna feel a lightness on the mat and this infinite growing towards the sky. Ending with the arms forward, drop your head, take a little stretch over your legs. Now you can let it go a little bit. Maybe lean to one side, switching sides. Take whatever feels good. Come all the way up to tall. And now we add our twist and side bend. So I'm going to assume the unflattering position, but it's going to be easier for everyone to see. It's a lot of, there we go. So my legs are going to be slightly wider than, your legs are going to be slightly wider than the mat. You're going to stack your spine one on top of the other. It's going to be easier to see from this angle, so this is what we're going to do. You're going to stack your hands one on top of the other, bring it behind the nape of your neck. If this is too hard of a position to hold, you can take your fingertips and bring them to your shoulders and just keep your elbows at the same height as your shoulders. I'll demo both. We're going to start with a little twist here. So that same feeling that we did with single leg circles and crisscross of the hips staying stable and unmoving, we bring that into our twist here. So just the rib cage is going to move to the right. So feeling that rib draw towards the right, and your hip that you're turning away from, almost pull it backwards. And then come back through center. And twist to the other side. And come back through center. and twist, and center, and twist, and center. This time twist and hold. From here, take an inhale, lift your ribs a little higher. Exhale, deepen your twist. Inhale, lift up higher. Exhale, twist. Last time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, deepest twist. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. We go to the other side. Twist to your left or to your right, whatever. Whoop. There, now I'm a little more center. Take an inhale. Exhale, deepen your twist. Inhale. Exhale, deepen your twist. Last time. Create space in the waist to move into. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Shake it out. Now we're all going to meet with our hands behind our head. We add a side bend to this. So keeping the hips down, you twist towards your right and then come back to center. Now lift your ribs up, side bend over to the right and come up to center. Twist to the left and center. Side bend over and center and twist and center. Tip over and center. Little bit of a rhythm here. Feeling a lot of lift through your center. This doesn't look like much. You know, we're just sitting on the mat. But there's a lot of work that our center has to do to stay lifted here. One more time each side. Tip over, side bend. Last time. And side bend. Shake it out. Woo! Wow. How are we feeling? I am feeling really mobile. My waist is really mobile right now. I love twisting and side bending. It's a great combo to do together, and you don't need a lot of space to do it. I like to do that when I'm traveling, especially if I've sat in a car for a long time, or you're just frozen in a position for a long period of time when you're on the go to a new place. And then once I get to the hotel or my destination, I like to do that twisting and side bend combo. You can do it in a chair, you can do it on the floor, you can do it on a bed. It's a nice combo move that hits those planes of movement that we can lose during travel. That's actually a great transition. I give myself a pat on the back for that. To our next series here, we're going to do some swan. So that's another one that we tend to not do as much in our daily life, or especially when we travel, as we should. So extension being the opposite of flexion, which is the rounding, heart opening. Kind of sort of back bending. It could be back bending. For most of us, it's not. I wish I could do like a full back bend. I can do wheel, but I would love to do full exercist, like standing up and then just folding backwards. That would be amazing, but I don't even know where to start training that. And I don't know if I should do it. Sometimes I have that thought of, should I even do this? Is this something that I should be training my body to do? Nonetheless, let's get started. So swan. We'll move through some swan prep. There's a bunch of extension exercises. We're gonna hit a little bit of everything. We'll do a couple of combo moves. Pilates, Pilates, Pilates. So bear with me here. We'll start with the legs. So I always say start with the legs wide, and then you can narrow them in for more of a challenge. If you're starting to feel your lower back fire on when your legs are more narrow, take a wider stance. From here, we're gonna stack our hands one on top of the other. How many times have I said that in class today? And then lower your forehead down to your hands. But that's the move. That's what we do. That's the move. So swan and extension in Pilates is more about the upper body. It's the upper back and the abs, of course, working. This is not about how deep I can get into a back bend. It's not about creating a U shape with the body. This is about strengthening the upper back and the core stability that it requires, that extension requires. So shift your thought process a little around that. It's not about how high you get up. And I know that can be disappointing. So we're going to work our reach principle here. So with the hands stacked one on top of the other, you're going to lift your abs away from the mat and now press your pelvis down towards the floor. This should happen when you lift your waist towards your spine. You should start to feel your pubic bone draw down towards the floor as you lift your abs away from the mat. This is going to bring us into more of a neutral position so that we can really work that upper back and stabilize our lower spine in our extension. So with that, we're going to find that position. Lift your abs, draw your pelvis down, and now your head, hands, and heart lift up off of the mat. And now I want you to think less about lifting up here and more about reaching forward. How does that reach forward help lift you up higher? So imagine someone's got a rope around your breastbone and they're pulling you forward. Almost like as you lift up, you scoop into the air to lift up. Keep that same reach as you lower down. Lengthen to lower down with control. Let's try that again. On your next exhale, reach long and keep that reach long as you lift up. And hold for 3, 2, 1, and reach to lower down. 2 more times. Lift on up. And lengthen to lower down. Last time we're going to lift up and hold. Similar to what we did in our warm-up here. You're going to reach your arms forward, try and stay lifted. Bring your hands back to your forehead. Reach your arms long in front of you. Bring it back in. 2 more times. And bring it in. Last time. Bring it in and slowly lower down. Press yourself back into a quick child's pose. Can feel good after some extension. From here, we're going to come to a Sphinx position. Wow. Forearms down on the mat. Elbows underneath your shoulders. We're going to make 2 fists and give ourselves a little fist bump. Get a little stretch in the wrists. This is the classical way to do this. It's kind of a funny position, but given how much time I spend at a computer, I probably need to do this more often. So from here, this is not chill out and watch Netflix. Press the floor away and think abs back, hips down. So I have a long diagonal spine here. I don't want to have a U shape here. There's a big difference between this and this. So abs lift, hips stay down. This is an extension position. So roll your shoulders open. Feel a lot of engagement and stability through the upper body. From here, we're going to take our right heel for our single leg kick, flex your toes, and give 2 kicks towards your booty. And then lower down and switch. Kick, kick. So this is part hamstring curl, and it's part extension. This is all about your posterior chain, the whole back body. We're working everything here. Kick, kick. Each kick draws closer, closer. So there's no ricochet, closer, closer. And closer, closer. Let's go 3. And 2. Last time. Hold here. Now from here, bring your hands underneath your armpits. Bend your elbows. Keep your elbows towards your ribs. Lift up a little higher, find a swan. So same thing, a little taller. And then reach long to lower down. We're going to press up into our full swan now. Lift up into your swan prep. How high can you go before you initiate with the hands to come up a little higher? And then lower down nice and controlled. Keep that reach. 2 more times. Reach long to lift up. And lower down. Last time, lift up. This time as you lower down, lower your right face cheek to the mat. I have to say face cheek because some people get creative. You're going to bring your hands to stack one on top of the other and zip your legs together. We did single leg kicks, it's double leg kick time. So from here, both heels draw towards your booty. 3, 2, 1. Press the legs down, interlace your thumbs, press up, find a swan. Lift your arms up to the ceiling, really find a big dramatic extension. Now we switch face cheeks as we lower down. Kick, kick, 3, 2, 1, and lift up. Lower down, kick, kick, 3, 2, 1, press and lift up. And switch, 3, 2, 1, and up. Last time, 3, 2, 1, lift up and hold. Draw your arms forward, lift your legs up, go for a swim, up and down. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, take your child's pose. Wah. Take whatever child's pose feels good. I like to move around a little bit, get a little extra stretch all around my shoulder blades. I also like to get a little tricep stretch here. If you bend your elbows and bring your hands behind your head, or you can fold them and just let your chest fall through. Extension is hard, but it's so important. All right, let's come out of our child's pose. Hope you're all feeling good. Take a quick water break. We're going to move into our side kick series. And I'm going to incorporate some side planking and some of that into our side kicks today. Oh, I have a hair in my mouth. That's going to be rough. Maybe I can get it out. Well, hopefully I can get it out and not choke on it. So we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned for the suspense. We're going to do some side kicks, and I'm going to add in some side planking. I'm going to provide an option to up the ante a little bit on our side kicks. So if you're interested in that and you want to play, you can give it a go. All right. I've been really inspired to do a lot more side body work over the past few days because I've had to watch Barrett climb out of a mithril mine with one hand, and just like the side body strength is incredible. So when I got really lost in the mithril mine. I had no idea where I was going. I had to look it up. I had no idea where I was. So I spent all this time just scoring the same section of the game, trying to figure out how to get out, and just had to watch Barrett be awesome. So this is going to be inspired by him today. So for our side kicks, you have options. Lay on your bicep like a pillow, bend at the elbow, support your head, or little half side plank here. So if you want to try this variation, your forearm's going to be down, elbow under your shoulder. And this is going to be your like half side plank position. So the key to this is that we don't want to do this, right? We don't want to sink, hang out in the shoulder. We really want to lift away, not just with the upper body, but with the side body as well. So feeling like there's, I don't know, pick something that you're afraid of and you're lifting away from it. There's a lot of engagement through this side of the body. Something that I find helps me stabilize a little more is almost feel like your elbow is resisting towards your hip. So like you're pulling your elbow in towards your hip. It's going to fire on your side in a way that is a little extra bit of engagement. So I'm going to start here for our side kicks. From here, we're going to bend our knees in, bring our shins parallel to the front of the mat. Hips are going to stay stacked one on top of the other. From here, we're going to take that top leg up, nice and long. Kick, kick it front twice, and point, reach it back behind you. And point, kick, kick. Point, reach it back behind you. 2 more times. Classic legs. Last time. Now from here, bring that leg long. You're going to point, lift it up, flex, lower it down. Point, reach, that same feeling and extension that we did. Flex, lower it down. See, I was starting to lose my side body there. Good. And flex. One more time. Flex, find your hover. From here, we draw little ping pong ball size circles. That's a little bigger. There we go. And now reverse your circle. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we go a little bigger. Think basketball. For 3, 2, 1, reverse your circle. Draw actual circles. 3, 2, 1, lower down. Now from here, point your toes. Lift your toes up to the ceiling. Little bit of a fishtail look here, and then lower that down. And lift, and bring it down. You're going to get a little crunch in that upper body here. And lift up, trying to keep the hips stacked. 2 more times. Last time, lift up and hold. We go for our clamshell. Open the leg and lower. And open and close. Just one more time, because these are brutal. Now we add an extension. I just made it worse. Bend it in and lower. Open, extend, bend it in and lower. Last time. Bend it in and lower. Take it down. Come to sit on your right hip and just take a quick side bend over. I'm not going to cue technique, just let it feel good. Let's swing around to the other side. Sometimes we can do a funky transition. Sometimes it's like what we're doing is funky enough. We don't need to add funky on top of funky. Sometimes it's appropriate, sometimes it's not. Today, this is enough. All right. So, finding your choice for side kicks. Then we're going to bend our knees in. It's kind of like a side-seated position. Keeping your hips stacked one on top of the other. It's easy to kind of want to do the little mambo here. Try and keep your hips stacked one on top of the other. And really lift that bottom side away from the floor. Let's take that top leg up. Flex your foot, bring it forward 4 times. We kick to the front. Point, reach it back behind you. Your goal with this is to try to keep the leg at the same height the whole time. 2 more times. Last time. Where does this hand go? We're going to bring it here. We're going to flex, lift it up, and point, lower it down. I changed my mind right when I made a decision. That's so funny. 2 more times. And lower. Last time. Lower. We draw our little ping pong ball size circles, like you're drilling into an imaginary wall. So that reach here. And now reverse. Now we go basketball. Up on the up accent. Up. Try not to sink in the waist. 2 and 1. Reverse your circle. Guess this is my weaker side. Holy moly. For 3, 2, and 1. Bend the leg in, lower it down. That was definitely my weaker side. Surprise! All right. Point your toes. Lift your fishtail up and lower it down. And lift and lower. For 2. Last time. Hold. Wrap the inner thigh. For 2. Last time. Hold. Extend. Bend and lower. 2 more times and then we're done. We're done with this at least. I'm looking forward to it. Last time. Lower down. Come to sit up. Take your side bend over. Let it feel good. And then come all the way back up. Let's close out. We'll do, let's do some push-ups. I'm telling you, playing Final Fantasy VII last night and watching Barrett just like climb vertical drops with one hand. It was very impressive. Also, I don't know if anyone noticed, but how does Red 13 ride a chocobo? Like that. He like rides it like a human. It's so bizarre. It's very strange. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if it weirded anyone else out, but definitely was the first thing I noticed. As soon as we started riding Pico, I was like, what is happening over there? But we just got our June on bird, so looking forward to scaling some mountains on her. I like the chocobo element, the different region chocobos. Don't know how all you feel about it, but I think it's pretty cool, and I like the different colors, and the design's really cute. So, as a 13, huge fan of 13, they have the weirdest chocobo designs. So it's fun to see, like 7 has a more like commonly known design for a chocobo, but man, if you want a weird one, check out 13's chocobos. They're like dinosaurs. They're amazing. They're weird, but I love how weird they are. Speaking of weird, let's do some weird push-ups. We're going to start in a quadruped position. And now you can take these push-ups however you'd like. You can take them on your knees. You can take them with your straight legs. You can do a combo. Doesn't matter. It's all about getting them in. So, we're going to start quadruped, and we're going to do 3 types of push-ups. Our standard wide arm push-up, our tricep push-up, and then our serratus push-up. So starting with our wide arm push-up, arms are going to be the width of your shoulders. When you bend your elbows in this push-up, you want to think less of a T shape and more of an arrow. So the elbows are going to come a little more here and less here. So something to keep in mind as we move. We're going to do 5. We're going to aim for 5. So get ready. We're going to start in 3, 2, assume the position 1, and here we go. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Inhale, draw your waist away as you lower. Exhale, lift. Don't forget about your head. Can do some weird things during push-ups. Last time. Pike your hips up to the ceiling, down dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Drop your head, take a little stretch over your legs. If your hands touch the floor, cool. If they don't, also cool. Doesn't matter. Just hang. Big breaths, because we're walking back out and we're doing triceps. So here we go. Walk on out. Do. Now our arms are more underneath our shoulders. Our elbows graze our ribs. Bend and press. The chest draws forward. It's like we're going over our shoulders a little bit. 2 more times. Last time. Pike your hips up to the ceiling. Ugh, I hate those. But they're important to do. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Wah. Our final round is serratus push-ups. These are not as common, but they're really fun. And I like them because they throw you something a little different. So we're going to walk our hands back out and then find a quadruped position to start for our little demo. So serratus push-ups will start on our forearms. You can make a fist with one hand, cup it with the other. Now, I'll start here just to show. So with serratus push-ups, your shoulder blades squeeze behind you and press away. So the cue is to imagine that you have a pencil in between your shoulder blades. And as you lower your chest, you squeeze your shoulder blades together and then push away and separate your shoulder blades. So just your chest is lowering. So what we don't want to see is this. That weird position. So we don't want to like drop the booty. That's for the club later tonight. This is just an isolation of your shoulder blades. And it's called serratus push-ups because it's targeting your serratus. which is that kind of jagged muscle that runs along your side body. So we're going to do 5 of those. So make a fist with one hand, cup it with the other. Find your forearm plank. And let's go. So just lower your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades, and then press back up. All the while, you're drawing your waist back and away. We only have 2 more. My talking distracts you last time. From here, find your plank and then pike your hips up. Walk your hands to meet your feet, feet to meet your hands, whatever you prefer. Take a couple bends of the knees. Slowly roll all the way up to tall. Head is the last thing to come up. I'm going to take a seat so you can see me. And that's class for today. Woohoo! Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the workout. I'm looking forward to some more coffee. Cheers. And yeah, we're here every Sunday, 10 a.m. If you're curious about other things that I'm working on, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at MoveWSarah. Got some cool stuff happening in the future, including our March Cos Pilates. So our cosplay Pilates class, where I dress up and we sequence a class inspired by anime characters, video game characters, superheroes, franchises, whatever. If you have any recommendations for Cos Pilates, let me know. I got a couple really great ones in the last stream, and I'm feeling really inspired. So be on the lookout for this Cos Pilates coming the 3rd week of March, right before I have to go to an anime convention. It's going to be a very exciting month. So getting a cosplay ready for that as well. So it's going to be a big geeky month for me, and I hope a big geeky month for you, especially if you're playing 7. No spoilers though. All right, if you want to check out my most recent Cos Pilates, I did Final Fantasy VII and I dressed up as Tifa. That's up on the channel in highlights. And yeah, I'm just really excited to do more. So stay tuned for that. If not, I'll see you next Sunday, or I'll see you on Instagram or on TikTok or wherever. And have a good rest of your day. Stay awesome. Bye.